Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The Miami Dolphins continue to reshape their coaching staff as they aim to stay competitive in the highly charged AFC East, and their latest move signals a clear focus on the ground game. According to CBS Sports' Jonathan Jones, Chandler Henley has been promoted from senior offensive assistant to run game specialist. This is a significant development within the Dolphins coaching tree, especially considering the dynamic and complex run schemes that head coach Mike McDaniel has brought with him from his time in San Francisco. Henley's promotion is not just a standard reshuffling. It's a strategic move that underscores McDaniel's trust in someone who knows his system intimately. After all, Henley has been with the Dolphins since McDaniel's arrival in 2022, and their relationship dates back even further to their college days at Yale, where both played wide receiver. This long-standing connection likely plays a major role in the level of confidence McDaniel has in Henley's football mind and leadership ability. Henley's football journey is a fascinating one that blends Ivy League intellect with gritty NFL experience. A Yale graduate, Henley didn't follow the traditional path of a high-profile player transitioning directly into coaching. Instead, he carved his own route, starting in the less glamorous but incredibly vital roles of quality control and assistant coaching. His stint with the Tennessee Titans from 2018 to 2020 as a quality control coach laid the groundwork for his technical expertise. It was there that Henley began building a reputation for being detail-oriented and methodical, traits essential for someone now tasked with designing and enhancing Miami's run game. These years spent behind the scenes gave him a front row seat to the intricacies of NFL offenses, and more importantly, provided the foundation for what's now culminating in a specialized role under one of the most innovative offensive minds in football. That combination of brains and experience makes this promotion both logical and promising for the Dolphins. Before arriving in Miami, Henley also spent a pivotal year with the Atlanta Falcons in 2021, working as the assistant offensive line coach. That position offered him invaluable exposure to the trenches, arguably the most critical area when it comes to executing a successful ground attack. Offensive line coaches often serve as the unsung heroes of a team's run game, shaping both the physical execution and the mental awareness needed in high-pressure situations. Working directly with offensive linemen allowed Henley to understand the unique communication and cohesion required between linemen and backs. That year, with the Falcons, expanded his repertoire and deepened his understanding of how successful run schemes are built from the ground up, literally. Now, this experience complements his background with quarterbacks and receivers, giving him a well-rounded view of offensive operation. It's this kind of versatility and knowledge that makes Henley a compelling choice to help elevate the Dolphins' ground attack in the upcoming season. Henley's rise through the ranks is also a testament to Miami's emphasis on internal development and coaching continuity. In an NFL landscape where coaching turnover is frequent and often disruptive, the Dolphins are doubling down on individuals who have grown within their system. This move shows that McDaniel values the cumulative knowledge and consistency that Henley brings rather than opting for an outside hire unfamiliar with the team's culture. Continuity can't be overstated, especially when you're talking about something as nuanced as a modern NFL run game. Scheme alone isn't enough. Execution has to be second nature, and that only happens when the players and coaches speak the same language. Henley has been part of building that vocabulary from day one under McDaniel. Promoting him into a specialist role not only strengthens the existing structure, but also accelerates the development of Miami's evolving identity on offense. The Dolphins already boast one of the league's most explosive offenses, thanks largely to a blazing fast receiving core and a quarterback in TUA TAGOVAILOA who's growing more comfortable by the snap. But where the Dolphins have room to grow is on the ground. Their run game, while serviceable, hasn't consistently imposed its will on opponents. That's where Henley comes in. His role will be crucial in bridging the gap between potential and production. Miami's offensive success often depends on timing, motion, and deception. all of which becomes significantly more dangerous when the run game is clicking. With Henley now fully in charge of that aspect, we could see more balance and unpredictability in McDaniel's play calling. The idea is simple. If teams have to respect the run, it opens everything else. Henley's challenge is to make sure the Dolphins' run game doesn't just serve as window dressing, but becomes a real threat. It's also worth noting that Henley and McDaniel's shared background at Yale adds a unique dynamic to their professional relationship. Both being former wide receivers with Ivy League degrees, they approach the game with a cerebral flair that's rare in the often gritty world of NFL coaching. Their academic roots likely foster a mutual respect and a collaborative approach to problem solving. That intellectual synergy could be the X factor in designing a run scheme that not only fits the Dolphins' personnel, but also adapts and evolves week to week. McDaniel is known for his innovative run designs, borrowing elements from everywhere: Shanahan's, zone schemes, jet sweeps, gap runs, you name it. With Henley stepping in to specialize in this area, Miami gains another thinker who can fine-tune those concepts and perhaps introduce new wrinkles of his own. The expectation is that Henley won't just follow the blueprint, but will help redefine it in his own way. What's particularly intriguing about Henley's promotion is how it aligns with the Dolphins' broader goals for 2025. After 2 seasons under McDaniel, expectations are no longer modest. This team is built to contend, and the margin for error gets slimmer every year. That means every coaching decision carries weight. Promoting Henley to a run game specialist is not just about internal loyalty. It's about trust in his ability to produce results in a high-pressure environment. The AFC East is stacked, with teams like the Bills and Jets constantly retooling. To compete, Miami needs every phase of its offense humming, especially the run game, which becomes even more vital in late-season cold-weather matchups. Henley's job will be to ensure that when the Dolphins need to run the ball, whether to kill the clock or grind out tough yards, they can do so confidently and effectively. That's no small task, but Henley's track record suggests he's ready. Henley's promotion also sends a message to the rest of the staff, and even the league at large, that Miami is serious about developing young coaching talent. In an era where coaching trees are as important as player development, moves like this can elevate an entire organization's reputation. If Henley succeeds in this new role, it could set the stage for future promotions or even coordinator opportunities down the line. More importantly, it reinforces a culture where growth is recognized and rewarded. Young coaches across the league will take note that Miami is a place where dedication and intellect lead to opportunity. For players too, there's a benefit. Working under a coach like Henley, who's earned his stripes at multiple positions, creates an environment where teaching is emphasized and communication flows clearly. That kind of clarity can be the difference between a missed block and a touchdown run. Let's not forget that Henley's journey from Yale to the NFL isn't just rare, it's inspiring. He's proof that there's more than one way to break into coaching at the highest level. Many coaches come from NFL bloodlines or high-profile playing careers, but Henley has made his mark through intelligence, hard work, and adaptability. Those traits resonate in the locker room, especially with younger players trying to find their place in the league. Coaches who have walked unconventional paths often bring a level of empathy and perspective that helps them connect with their players on a deeper level. That connection can translate into more effective teaching and ultimately better performance. On the field, in that sense, Henley isn't just a run game specialist, he's a culture carrier, someone who represents the values Miami wants to instill throughout its organization. His presence on the coaching staff could ripple far beyond just X's and O's. As the Dolphins gear up for what they hope will be a playoff-bound season, the elevation of Chandler Henley stands out as a calculated move with long-term implications. It's not flashy, it's not headline-grabbing like a big free agent signing, but it could very well be one of the most important coaching decisions of the offseason. Henley is stepping into a role that demands precision, creativity, and leadership, all qualities he has consistently demonstrated throughout his career. More importantly, he's doing it within a system he knows intimately, under a head coach who trusts him implicitly. If Henley can deliver a more consistent and dominant ground game, the Dolphins' offense could become one of the most balanced and unpredictable units in the NFL. In a league where innovation meets execution, Chandler Henley's promotion is a sign that the Dolphins are building something with substance and sustainability. And it starts right there in the trenches. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Quincy Fins this week? The NFL world was shaken this week as whispers began circulating around the Miami Dolphins training facility, suggesting that star quarterback Tua Tagovailoa may have reached a breaking point with head coach Mike McDaniel. Sources close to the situation are saying that the once promising relationship between Tua and McDaniel has soured behind closed doors. While nothing has been confirmed officially, multiple insiders have hinted at a growing tension that's been brewing since the final stretch of last season. There are rumblings that Tua, frustrated with the offensive direction and the way he's been utilized, has quietly requested a trade from the Dolphins front office. While team representatives have declined to comment, the Dolphins' silence on the matter only adds fuel to the fire. Is this the beginning or the end for the Tua era in Miami? The NFL community is buzzing with speculation, and fans are demanding answers. Something feels off in South Beach. What makes this rumor even more intriguing is the contrast between public appearances and what's allegedly happening behind the scenes. On the surface, Tua and McDaniel have maintained a cordial, even friendly rapport. Press conferences have shown them joking, sharing insights, and praising each other, but according to insiders, that bond might be nothing more than smoke and mirrors. Some reports claim that Tua has been increasingly vocal in private about his dissatisfaction with McDaniel's play calling and the lack of autonomy he feels on the field. Apparently, Tua wants more freedom to make reads and audibles, and he's grown tired of feeling like a passenger in a system that doesn't fully cater to his strengths. There's also been mention of a misalignment in vision for the team's future, especially with contract negotiations looming. If Tua truly asked for a trade, it would be one of the most shocking developments in recent Dolphins history. Let's not forget that just a year ago, Mike McDaniel was being hailed as the quarterback whisperer who resurrected Tua's career. The narrative was simple. Tua struggled under previous coaches, but McDaniel came in, simplified the offense, and unleashed the former Alabama star's potential. Tyreek Hill's arrival helped, sure, but it was McDaniel's confidence in Tua that had Dolphins fans dreaming of Super Bowl runs. So what changed? Some say it's the pressure of expectations. Others believe that behind the positive exterior, the quarterback-coach relationship was always strained. Maybe Tua never fully bought into McDaniel's vision, or perhaps McDaniel began losing faith in Tua's ability to lead the team deep into the postseason. The Dolphins' late season collapse last year certainly didn't help. Could that have been the catalyst that fractured a once promising partnership? The rumors suggest so, and the timing couldn't be worse for a franchise desperate for stability under center. The plot thickens when you consider Tua's health history. One source claimed that part of the friction revolves around how the Dolphins handled Tua's concussion concerns last season. While the team followed protocols, there's talk that Tua and his camp felt he was rushed back too soon, leading to trust issues. Combine that with the lack of a long-term contract extension, and you begin to see why Tua might feel undervalued and unprotected. If the franchise quarterback doesn't feel supported medically or financially, it's not surprising he might look for a fresh start. And where there's smoke, there's usually fire. This isn't just a heated debate between two passionate competitors. It might be a fundamental breakdown in trust and vision. For Dolphins fans, it's a nightmare scenario. Like the idea that Tua, the face of the franchise, would want out is hard to stomach, but this rumor refuses to go away. Adding another twist to the situation are the reports that Tua's agent has quietly reached out to other teams to gauge interest. This hasn't been confirmed by any team officials, but NFL insiders believe there's substance to the idea. The Atlanta Falcons, Minnesota Vikings, and even the New England Patriots have been floated as potential landing spots should Tua officially request a trade. While a deal would be complex due to salary cap implications and compensation, the mere notion of Tua wearing another jersey is wild to consider. Dolphins general manager Chris Grier is now reportedly under pressure to either patch things up or prepare for life after Tua. This could lead to a franchise-altering decision in the coming weeks. If true, the Dolphins front office will need to act fast, either in making peace with their quarterback or maximizing his value before things spiral even further out of control. What's also worth noting is the locker room dynamic. While Tua has always been respected by his teammates, sources say not everyone in the building sees him as the unquestioned leader anymore. Some players reportedly feel caught in the middle, loyal to both McDaniel and Tua, but unsure of what direction the team is headed. If Tua's frustrations have been vocalized internally, it could create a ripple effect that undermines team chemistry. You can't have a divided locker room in a league as competitive as the NFL. It raises a critical question. Would the Dolphins be better off cutting ties now rather than letting this drama fester through training camp? The last thing Miami needs is a media circus heading into a pivotal season. With the AFC East more competitive than ever, distractions could derail everything. That's why this situation feels so urgent. The Dolphins are on the clock, even if they won't admit it publicly. From a fan perspective, the speculation has created a whirlwind of emotions. Dolphins fans have defended Tua against critics for years, from doubters questioning his arm strength to analysts dismissing his long-term viability. And just when it seemed like he turned the corner, this news hits. Many supporters are now questioning whether this relationship is salvageable or if it's already too late. Social media has erupted with theories, mock trade proposals, and pleas for clarity. Some fans blame McDaniel, accusing him of stifling Tua's creativity. Others think Tua is being too sensitive or impatient. Regardless of where fans stand, one thing is clear: the unity that once defined this team is cracking. If this turns into a public feud, it could leave scars that last well beyond the 2025 season. That's why it's critical for the Dolphins to either deny these rumors outright or address them head on. The silence only makes things worse. The NFL media machine is already salivating at the potential fallout. Shows like First Take and Undisputed have dedicated entire segments to Tua's rumored trade request, and pundits are divided. Some argue that Tua has earned the right to control his destiny, especially given his performance last season. Others believe he's making a mistake by burning bridges in Miami when the team is finally built to contend. Either way, Tua's reputation is now part of the conversation. If he forces his way out, it could set a precedent for other young quarterbacks unhappy with their situations. But if this is all just noise and Tua stays silent, he risks losing control of the narrative. In today's media climate, perception often matters more than reality. And right now, the perception is that something is deeply broken in Miami. Whether that's fixable remains to be seen. But this story isn't going away anytime soon. There's also the matter of legacy. Tua was supposed to be the quarterback who brought the Dolphins back to glory. Drafted as a top 5 pick, he arrived with sky-high expectations and the weight of a proud franchise on his shoulders. For a while, it looked like he was up to the task. But if this ends in a messy divorce, what will that say about his time in Miami? And what does it mean for McDaniel, whose reputation is also on the line? If he can't maintain a working relationship with his starting quarterback, how much trust can the front office place in his leadership? It's a domino effect. One problem potentially triggering several others. That's why this rumored trade request is about more than just football. It's about culture, leadership, and identity. The Dolphins are at a crossroads, and whatever happens next will shape the future of the franchise for years to come. In the end, this could all blow over. Maybe cooler heads will prevail, and Tua and McDaniel will have the heart-to-heart that saves their partnership. Maybe this is just a leverage play by Tua's camp to speed up contract talks or gain more input in offensive strategy. But the sheer volume of whispers and reports suggests that this isn't just idle gossip. Something's happening in Miami, even if we don't have all the details yet. The NFL offseason is always filled with drama, but this story has the potential to reshape the landscape. A young quarterback at odds with his coach and possibly ready to walk away is the kind of situation that turns contenders into rebuilders overnight. Whether Tua stays or goes, one thing is certain: the Dolphins' 2025 season now has a new storyline, and it's one filled with uncertainty, emotion, and a whole lot of what-ifs. Stay tuned. This saga is just beginning. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.